A couple of days ago, we told you all about the woke bank that let thousands of customers leave their savings and everything, investments, all thanks to a tweet that was sent out worldwide from their social media manager. So how's that fared? And more importantly, has the bank now said sorry and done anything to try and, well, recuperate back the many accounts that they've lost? Hi, good morning, Neil Sean here in the very heart of London. Nice to have your company today as ever. And as ever, this particular story really just keeps rolling and rolling. We often talk about wokery, don't we, on the show, and people think that, oh, you know, you're just anti this, anti that. But it's not really the case, is it? I think in the old days, when you think about it, the customer was king, and if you're upset, they did everything in their power to try and make you happy, keep you right, you know. I recently tried to return an item back to a department store, had the bag, the receipt, everything. But the way that they treated you was like, well, you know, we'll give you the money this time. You think, oh really? And maybe next time I won't be shopping with you. This particular story all centres on the Halifax Bank, because last week they announced to great fanfare that they were going to be using pronouns on their badges, and it was all about inclusivity and of course inclusive for everyone, particularly on the 50th anniversary of Pride. You could guess exactly where that particular social manager, media manager was thinking, and he probably thought he was going to get a pat on the back. Well, guess what he did? Because then of course when he got a backlash on social media, he basically told the customers long standing with many thousands of pounds of savings in their bank, well, if they don't like it, close their account. So thousands did. But where did that leave the Halifax Bank? Well, it was interesting, isn't it? Because you would have thought then in the old days the rebuttal would have come and said, oh, don't worry, we're terribly sorry, we don't know how that happened, etc., etc. Nothing. Now, apparently, they agree with this particular statement, and as ever, we have to say allegedly. Not only that, another leading bank has basically teamed up with them too, saying that they also now agree with it. So obviously you're at liberty to take away your own money and place it in a bank somewhere that isn't full of woke nonsense. But now, of course, people are saying, well, how did it come to this? So let me explain. The serious people, you know, the ones who created the businesses and knew exactly what was required in order to sustain and build a very successful banking business, have either retired or been made redundant. And now, of course, we've got the next generation that are brought up with these very strange and simple wokery ideas. I'm not suggesting for one moment that you can't have your own mind, but really, in the workplace, is this really the place to be pushing forward your own agenda? Seemingly, for some companies it is, all desperate to remain inclusive, on trend and relevant. But at what cost? Now, for the Halifax Bank, as I say, that's going to result in a lot of redundancies, possibly even more closures of banks, and maybe even the collapse of the whole business. But then, will they still be happy with this social media post, which basically says, stuff it, we don't care what you think, we're doing what we think. So much for the listening bank, eh? Neil Sean in the very heart of London.